What's going on, everybody? Welcome to EdgeWorks Studios. Today is the big day. I'm going to announce the information about the 1K giveaway. I'm going to start this off right away, though, with announcing this week's winner for the inexpensive Japanese knife and the Whetstone giveaway, and that is Power AI. So congratulations, Power AI. You are the winner. Just send me an email. But if you're on the computer, for sure, I don't know how it works on mobile, but if you go to my profile, and right there where you click where it says view more, you'll see a button that says, or a link that says view email. Just shoot me an email to that address, and then give me your full name, your address, and I'll get you this stuff out in the mail soon. And again, congratulations. So what we're going to do with this other giveaway is we're going to give away a Japanese carbon steel knife. I'm going to give away multiple Whetstones. There are going to be multiple winners. I haven't decided whether or not the knife winner gets a stone too. I may do that. I don't know. But I'm going to try and make it to where several of you can win things and it not just be just one winner for all that we've gone through. So my plan is to draw 5 names. Those 5 names are going to be drawn from people that comment from today until 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, that's going to give everybody plenty of time to see the videos, to understand what's going on, to leave comments. And then you have to be a subscriber, of course, of the channel. And you have to leave a comment. Now, at the end of the 3 weeks, I'm going to draw, like I said, 5 names. I'll probably do it in order. And in order, like the first one will be the first big prize, which would be the carbon steel knife. Then, a couple Whetstones. I need to silence this phone. And then I may also do just some others where I have some of my knife wax, my handle and knife wax and stuff. And do that as well. If you guys want, let me know what you think about that. I'm also going to give away at least a strop, maybe 2 strops. We'll just see. I'm just going to try and do what I can for you guys. Again, I appreciate you guys getting me to 1,000. I couldn't have done it without you. You guys are the reason that I'm able to do this. And that's just my way of showing thanks. So again, I appreciate everybody. I'll do a list of what's being given away too. And that way it's not just like, what was it again? Anyway, so today, what I'm going to do is I have these, the Okahide, yeah, that's how you say it. It's spelled like Okahide, but the Japanese pronunciation, the proper way to say it from what I've been told, is Okahide. Anyway, Okahide. It's these little Aogami 2 petty looking knives, excellent knives. I got this glove on because of that stupid freaking burn. It's almost good to go, but it still looks pretty gnarly. So I have 2 of these right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a comparison. Adonma wanted me, he saw my King 1000 grit resin bonded diamond stone. And he had the older version, which is, I thought this is what I was getting whenever I ordered it. I didn't realize they had changed it up. So he has this version right here, which has a wooden base. Now, mine was on a base too, but luckily for me, I was going to remove it anyway, because if you notice on Adonma's version, there is bolts on the bottom. You can just pop those bolts out and you'll get exactly what I got here. Just this little aluminum plate. Now, the boxes are pretty similar. The way it was laid out was just a little different. But my stone, it came mounted to this. So this is the standard, all the King Whetstones have those kind of bases on them. It's identical, except for it's really large, right? Because this is for their larger type stone. But for whatever reason, and you can kind of see it there, you can see the adhesive. It's kind of a rubbery adhesive too. Man, that's really bright in the background there, I'm sorry. Anyway, when I got it, it was flopping around on this stand a little bit, like not flopping, but you could you could pull it up a little bit, and I was like, hey, that's saving me a lot of work. So I went ahead and I just pulled it off and I just scraped that stuff off the back with a straight razor, and now it's how I was going to use it anyway. So, but if you look at them side by side, I'll put it in a GoPro here. You can see the color is a little different. Like mine's kind of a bright green and his is kind of a brownish color. He was curious if there's any difference in cutting speed or maybe the way that it cuts or the cut pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, like, these are identical knives. I'm going to take one and I'm going to tune it up, sharpen it on this 1000 grit, and then I'm going to give a microscope close-up of the edge. I'm going to do the second one and do the exact same thing. So one will be done on the older version and then one will be done on the newer version. So anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll get started on that. Don't know if there's anything else I was going to say. If I think of it, we'll mention it while we're sharpening. But let's go ahead and give her a whirl, a crickety crack. Yeah, no, I'm still amazed, and I really appreciate all you guys giving me support and stuff. It really does mean the world to me. The fact that I was able to get to 1,000 subscribers, I never ever thought I'd get there. It's not a disbelief in myself. It's just that this is a really hard thing to do. There's, well, I say that, there's some people that do YouTube videos that it seems pretty mindless and they just blow up. but you know, you got to find that niche, right? You got to be one of those ones that hits that right spot at the right time. So anyway, I appreciate y'all, and that's why I'm giving back so much. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. So these resin bonded stones, I've noticed some of them, they'll take in a little bit of water for some reason. Don't know why. I don't know if it's just the binder or whatever. This had a couple spots it was doing it. I just wanted to see how it did it, like if it would continue, if it was a one-off thing, whatever. And it is doing it again at this little bitty, like it's a tiny spot. So it doesn't affect anything. I was just curious. And it will dry up too. So anyway. A lot of times you've seen me use soapy water, you know. It's just a little mix of like Dawn dish soap. It's a dish soap. Dissing on me all the time. Dish soap to help with lubrication. I don't feel that that's necessary. I do find some ease benefit from doing that. It does not make it cut any better or anything to that degree. So I'm not worried about any of that. I just thought about where this was placed. I hope that doesn't get wet. my Sharpening coarse powder. Man, this stuff is expensive, by the way. I was going to buy the fine version of this to do the lapping plate demonstration for you guys, because it says that the coarse powder is for up to 500 grit stones, and then the medium powder was up to 4,000 grit stones, and then 4,000 and above was the fine powder. But like, it's ended up being $40 for one of those containers after shipping and everything. So I may just do up to 4,000. Okay, enough talking. Sorry. Let's go ahead and we'll listen to this one. I want to hear the difference. If there's any audible difference in the way it sounds on this one versus that one. And then the cutting feel. So here we go. Oh, am I straight? I think this one was. Yeah, this one looks good, I'm pretty sure. Double checking. All right. We Gucci, bae. Man, I sure hope everybody's had a good week. Well, this is different with a glove on. Listen to that. It's quiet, but it's very cutty. Man, that's gonna be hard to check for a burr too. I may take this glove off because it's already aggravating me. Huh. Well, it doesn't look all that bad, I guess, maybe. I mean, you can tell that I got burnt, that's for sure. Ooh. Okay, let's do this. That's better. That feels better. So right away, I mean, the feel is just like every resin bonded stone of this caliber. It's very smooth, it's glassy kind of feeling. It's got a velvety kind of feel to it, I guess is a good way to say it. It's got great feedback, no complaints. I'm moving this out of the way too so I don't just drip it with water. Yeah, I mean, it's a great stone, you know. It pretty much feels exactly how my Nanawa does. I don't have a Veneve 1000 grit or whatever theirs would be called, whatever the FEPA rating is for the equivalent to 1000 grit. So I can't tell you that, but I mean, this every resin bonded stone that I've felt that's kind of hard, I guess, feels like this. So there's no difference there. There's nothing unique, nothing extraordinary, but it's also extremely good. It's definitely a great contender if you don't have one and you want to buy one, because you can get these sometimes on sale. Super quiet. It's not doing an aggressive burr. Well, maybe a little bit. I don't want to say aggressive, but... So they do come with these. You saw me pull it out a second ago. These little dressing stones. It's just an SIC 220 grit, I believe it is. I have to double check it. I'm pretty sure that's what I remember it being, was 220 grit. Just cleans it up good. I mean, there's a little load up there. It's not bad. Actually, it looks like I'm getting most of it out with my finger. So anyway, I'm gonna do a couple long strokes again real quick. This knife's so small, it's kind of hard to get a good grip on it. But it's easier to get pressure points through the whole thing when you're doing long strokes. I'm pretty sure, well, there's a little bit back here, it needs attention. This thing might be a little warped. Not the stone. This little knife. Bevel looks good and even. Let me double check. Yeah, man, these are good little knives. They're hard. Like I said, it's Aogami 2. They're right around the 63 Rockwell, 62, 63, that area. It is classic Warakomi, if that's how that's said, where they take the steel, they get it hot, they split it, and then they insert the edge, core steel, and then they forge weld it back together and then hammer it out. Okay, I think we can go ahead and flip on over. I'm going to double check the back end just to make sure. I need to get one of those wooden straighteners. Actually, yeah, it is not completely straight. Dadgummit. I don't have one of those, but I think they would be beneficial. Yeah, and classic. So the upper portion here, of course, is sharpened. And then the back, like I'd mentioned before, is not. And that's because of this little bow. Once I held it to a proper white background, you can see it kind of it has this like, it's a curve to it. I've got an anvil over there. I could try smacking it real quick, but I could just continue. But yeah, you can see it. I wonder if that'll affect it this way. Because yeah, it's going to bow up there some. You know what? Let me fix it. Why not? We're here, right? This is what we're doing. We're learning. I got this guy, which is my Japanese dog head hammer. It's I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is Damascus. It's such a cool hammer. I love that thing. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to strike it because it curves. Let me look again. So it curves, if you're holding it like this, it curves that direction. That's exaggerated, of course. So I'm going to flip it where it's curved and then just dink dink. Just give her a couple quick little dink dinks. And then we're going to proceed because I don't want to do this all day and take up your guys' time. Oh man, and with magic. Magic being brute force strength. She be straight, yo. Now let's see what happens. And that's all it took. Oh yeah. I'm gonna do this just normally instead of focusing and tilting or anything to favor that backside. I am, of course, putting my fingers in that area because that's how I would do it. And what do you know? We're sharpened. So yeah, if you have a flat surface, doesn't have to be an anvil. I just, of course, since I make knives too, I happen to have an anvil. And you have a relatively flat-faced hammer, and you strike it, like if you find your bow, and you strike it right in the center of where the bow is, like if it was only from here to here, you know, you could strike it here. In this case, it was the long ways the whole way, so I just struck it right in the middle, and I kind of dink-dinked a couple different places, and it's good to go. Huh. Easy cheesy. All right, here we go. Sorry about that interruption, guys. But hey, that's a good thing to learn. You could use just a standard, like, carpenter's hammer as long as you didn't overdo it with striking it hard. Because, yeah, I just gave it taps. It wasn't like I was going whack, whack. I mean, it was probably, if this was the hammer, it was like, just kind of almost letting it fall on it, you know. So I'm going to double check that bevel in that microscope. A little Carson boy. And make sure I got contact. And yeah, I've got contact all the way through, baby. I am going to run it on the back side just a slight touch more because it's not as prominent as the other spots. Okay, I'm going to dunk this in here real quick. I'm going to scrape this off real quick for the other side just to keep it nice and even Steven and make sure we got enough diamond surface there and everything. And this thing doesn't take long at all because it's like a size of a toothpick. Just refresh it, rubbing it in circles. Oh, that's something else too. Of course, I learned and figured this out a long time ago. Don't just take for granted that these things are flat. Make sure you get your diamond plate and you run them on your diamond plate and flatten these things out too, because they will come out of true. And the last thing you want to do is have one of these things that you're using to kind of correct stuff with be out, you know. That has a lot grippier surface now. It felt like it was kind of not as grippy as it should have been. And that's my fault for not doing that at first. But that's okay. That's okay. That's what we're here for. Learn from my mistakes. We'll go to the other side. Give a couple long strokes first. See how this sits. Yeah. I'm not having to worry about like tippage or anything, so we're good. She be fixed. I never really noticed it before. I mean, I noticed it was hard to sharpen the back end, but I never checked this one. I've got several knives that I just don't check. It's because I take for granted that they're right, you know, out of the factory. But these are handmade items. They're not always going to be right, so something to keep in mind. Yeah, I hope everybody's week's been good. Mine has been busy. I went and saw my mom today. And she was walking without the use of an assistive device. So that's good stuff. She was using kind of a walker, you know. She is good to go now. She's still a little slow, but she's going good. So I appreciate you guys' positive thoughts, prayers, and everything. That was something I never ever thought was gonna be 100% again, but she's like a new person. There we go. Yeah, this feels good. Like I said, it's a little skatey, right? But all of those that are like the higher grit resin bonded stones, they all kind of have that skatey kind of feel is what I call it. Just what I mean by that is just like it sounds. It's kind of like, like I said before, kind of has a glassy kind of feel. Same thing. It's just very smooth, but it still drags, which is so weird because it's kind of like you're getting two pieces of feedback information, but you know, it's dragging enough and you feel it cutting. So you know that's happening, but it's smooth and it glides, so you don't have an unpleasant experience. Okay. I honestly think that we're done, especially now that this is all straightened out, because that's a good burr. I mean, I can see a good sized bevel here. I'm gonna give it just a couple more quick straight ones. Actually, I'll do this real quick. Now. Okay. I'm fairly certain we are good to go. I'll do a couple deburring strokes here. This is going to be edge leading. And I'll go back with a quick swipe like that. It's just really worked for me. I don't know why. And that is very light pressure. I'm not digging into anything. I'm just kind of letting it, it's a little bit more than letting it just glide over it. But I am mostly just guiding the knife. And I think that those horizontal sweeps, I think that they help quite a bit. just in my experience, right? That could be different for you. I don't know. Man, I thought there was some like ghostly activity going on here. The cat just swiped my feet. You can kind of hear it. It's almost like kind of a sandy. That's interesting. It's like I take the sharpening pressure off and it gets a little bit more audible, which is weird. Those interested that don't know or haven't seen the other videos I've made about these knives, you can get this knife from knifejapan.com. Michael's a great person. They're $69 shipped DHL, no extra cost for shipping. For me, I usually get them within 48 hours of him shipping them. And he's very good about shipping quick. So if you're interested in getting one of these, it's knifejapan.com. Okay, I'm gonna look at this real fast. Just make sure everything looks copacetic. Make sure there's no crazy weird burrs there or nothing. Here's a little funny for you. How many of you actually grow gardens? I'm waiting for you guys to raise your hands so I can see. Every year I do a garden, and just probably, yeah, I'd say 2 years ago, my wife thought it would be a good idea to feed the squirrels along with feed the birds, right? Let's do a couple strokes. I see a couple little small birds. I told her, I said, you know, if you feed the birds, you're going to have to feed the squirrels, because if you don't, they're going to eat the bird seed, and they do anyway. I said, but I don't know how good of an idea that is, because if you feed the squirrels, they're going to get used to it, and if you don't feed them at any point in time, they're going to then look for food elsewhere in the yard. Well, I was not wrong. She gave up feeding the birds because the squirrels dumped all the bird food and all that stuff. Long story short, I was about to have my first tomatoes of the season, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days ago. I was going to pick them in the morning, and I did. I was going to let them kind of ripen just a little bit more, come home from work. Came home, and the squirrels ate all of my tomatoes, and mostly just left them there because they were looking for hydration and stuff. I had 26 total tomatoes. Probably 10 of them were ripe or just about ripe enough to pick. The others were kind of still growing. There wasn't a single one left. Ooh. Ooh. That paper was tore. I'll show you. They're all the same. So that's where I hit that. I'll do that again. So yesterday, that's nice and smooth. Yesterday I built a squirrel stay out of it cage. I built it out of chicken wire. I'm going to put this to the side real quick. And as I built it, I was thinking two things. Either one, there's a squirrel watching me saying, Jim, I told you not to take all the tomatoes. Now he's locking them all up. Or I just provided the squirrels with a very safe place to eat my tomatoes. Because if they get in there, they're going to be protected from just about anything. If any of you guys have tips on how to deal with squirrels, please let me know. Because it is very frustrating. Go through all that trouble, manning your garden in some little buttholes. They eat them, and they don't even eat them all the way. Okay, here's mine. Here's the other knife. I still have the logos on mine because I'm I'm savoring them as long as I can. I don't know why I like the logos. So putting water on it like I did the other one. This one does the exact same thing. It does drink in the water a little bit. So that's the same. After the first round, it does seem to kind of slow almost to a halt. It does do it in a few small places. So that's okay. All right, let's listen to this one. I don't think that these logos are going to make a difference for the sound. It could, because they are raised. They are kind of a stamp. But we'll take a look and see. I'm going to just hit the camera. So sound-wise, that was a little different. It sounded a little rougher, maybe. Let me double check this, I forgot. All right, this one's dead straight. Like I'm looking at all angles, so we're dead straight. Yeah, it was a little louder. Let's see here. Whew. So the feel is pretty identical with a little more roughness. Don't know if it's because this one's brand new and I've only sharpened on it like 1 or 2 times. That could play a role. I can tell you that the burr feels more significant and it was here quicker. It's not a whole lot on the tip, so I'm going to do that real quick. All right, now that's even. Feedback's the same. You know, it still has that glassy feel. It's just a little rougher. The burrs, or the bevel's not as even back here, so I'm going to hammer the back a little bit. You can notice the load a little bit easier on this one too. But again, it is a lighter color overall. I don't know. I think part of me is wanting to find a difference, but I don't really think that there is. The only thing, if I had to pick anything substantial, I think this might be cutting a little faster. Maybe. That's all I can figure. Because I'm ready to go to the next side. That's how substantial that is. And I'm going to verify under the microscope and just look at the scratch pattern. And that'll tell me for sure. Yeah, so that's good. If I look at the burr is indeed bigger than the other burr was. Just based on, what I saw under the microscope. So I'm going to give a couple more long strokes. I'm going to clean the surface. Just count to 10 probably. Do it the same way here with my fingers at both sides here. All right. This is probably going to get rid of my logos. No? It did fade them out, that's for sure. I mean, not that I didn't expect it to. Okay, next side. Okay, I was making sure I actually sealed that with wax. Ooh, that gripped hard. Listen to that. Man, that is like grip city. That's a whole different beast right there. It felt sandy, if that makes sense. Now, and I checked, I didn't have any grit contamination from that little stone there. And I rinsed the surface. Let's see. Huh. Significantly more metal. I mean, I know I flipped the burr over, so it's going to be more prominent right away, but I mean, that's pretty huge, and even my fingers on it right now is very, very draggy. So let's do this like we did the other side. Yeah, we are, I mean, that's done. I'm going to give it a couple long strokes. Oh, I'm going to hit the tip again. Just needs a little attention. Yeah, okay. Looks good. Couple quick long strokes, and then we're moving on. Okay. Deburr with some edge leading strokes. Whether it's the old one or the new one, I'm going to tell you, these things, they cut quite well. And it's not like I don't expect the resin bonded diamond stones to. But I believe that these King stones, because the only thing I can find is that Matsunaga is the ones who manufactures these. They're not, I don't believe they're manufactured by Nanawa. I initially thought or assumed that it was potentially done by them, but no. Everything I've read says that they're doing this themselves. So whatever they're doing right, and the scratch pattern does look like 1000 grit-ish. It's very equivalent to a lot of the 1000 grit stones that I've used that are ceramics. So, okay, double check my burskis. We do seem to be a D-bird. Yeah, maybe not all the way. Give it a couple more quickies. I would take it to maybe a higher stone just to deburr, but I don't want to like break out a bunch of stuff here. And to be fair, I'm going to give it a quick little couple strips like I did on the suede side like the other one. Literally it was two, you know, two per side. All right, we'll cutter tester. Wipe it off, make sure it's not wet. Where's the same piece of paper that I hit? All right, let's listen to this guy. I don't know. That almost feels a little better. It's nice and quiet. There's not catching on anything, so we didn't jack anything up here. Let's do the tip. Yeah, I don't know. So, no doubt about it. Golly, it's been a long one. No doubt about it. I mean, this thing is sharp. It's going to cut your food, right? I'm setting up my station for tomato slicing and stuff as a test too. But I mean, it's as far as this old versus the new one, this one, the new one may actually cut a little better. I don't know if that has to do with, you know, the formula, the binder, the concentration, because I know that a lot of places, you know, early on use different concentrations than they do in today's formula. Most, like even Venive is mostly 100% concentration, except for certain times they have different concentrations or whatever. So I don't know. But even James, like DMD said, he uses 70%, I think it was. I'd have to double check that to be certain. I don't want anybody to quote me on that and me be wrong, but his is 70%, I believe is what he said. So I don't know. But I do believe that that last one cut a little better. It definitely cut faster, it feels like, on the stone, and I didn't have to work as hard on it, you know, giving it as much pressure. So take that for what it's worth. That could just be total technique though. They both sharpen the knives great. You know, I can cut them real quick again on that same piece of paper here, just to listen. So this is the first one. Just I'll do it slow. This will just tell you if the edge is any smoother. Hold on. I don't know. There's not really a difference there, I don't think. So I think I'm just daydreaming. So maybe there's no difference. Maybe it's just color. One's brownish and one's green. I don't take it for what it's worth, guys, but there it is. I can tell you, no matter if you find a used one on the market that is an older variety, or you buy a new one, you're going to get a great cutting stone. It does a great job. I'll throw up some pictures here of the side-by-side. The first one will be the first one I sharpened. The second one will be the second one. Judge for yourselves. That should help kind of determine a little bit. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Remember, for that 1,000 subscriber giveaway, 3 weeks. I'm going to put that in the description. 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks, I'll do the drawing. And the only way you're going to be entered into it is if you're a subscriber of the channel and you leave comments on today's video and every video leading up to the one before the drawing. That's how I'm going to determine who wants to be in this giveaway, and my supporters are. So I appreciate you guys again very much. You have no idea. I can't express it in words. That's why I'm giving you things. So giving you stuff. So again, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you this weekend. I'm going to do some fun stuff. And I got some surprises coming for that too. So talk to you soon. Peace. Have a good week.